I really like the Surface Duo. I really like the Surface Duo even though it has loads of issues, glitches, bugs, and problems. I want the Surface Duo to get better. I want these glitches and software bugs to be fixed. So in that direction, what I did about a week ago is I went on to YouTube and made a video, and on Facebook in a Facebook group for the Surface Duo. And in both of these contexts, I asked for people to share descriptions of glitches and bugs that they were experiencing. I took those comments and I organized them into a list. And we're going to go through and we're going to talk about these common issues and bugs to raise some awareness, to potentially apply some pressure. And if we do a good job here, if I did a good job here, maybe you can share this video on Twitter, Facebook, etc. And hope that raises some awareness here. This is not going to be bashing the Surface Duo. I really don't want people to take this the wrong way. It is my daily driver phone. I do like the Surface Duo a lot, clearly. I wouldn't have made a million videos about it, which you guys have supported me greatly in by hitting that subscribe button, by hitting that join button, and committing to giving me a very small amount of money every month to help fund this YouTube channel, this endeavor. Clearly, I like the Surface Duo a lot. This is not me bashing the Surface Duo. This is me hoping that if we're very loud and saying, these are the problems that you have to fix, maybe that will help get them fixed. Maybe it's a pipe dream. I don't know. Maybe it's just a video that other people who are thinking about buying Surface Duo can come in and watch and say, oh man, if this is the state that it's in, now I know better if I actually want to buy this thing or not. A lot of people buy it and don't realize what the bugs are. My content has largely been very positive because I feel positive about the device. Let's counterbalance this a little bit with a little bit of levity, a little bit of reality about some of the things that you might experience. So let's jump over to this list, and this list is not complete. There are more comments than there were items on this list, but it was getting very difficult to sort through them, to pull different items out of each people's comments, because most comments had 2 or 3 things in it. I'm pulling them out, I'm sorting them, more comments are coming in. Facebook isn't really organizing them in a way that was easy for me. YouTube, it was getting very difficult. So I pulled out the ones that I thought did the best job of saying what needed to be said and were clear, and that I thought I could go over, and they just keep in mind on any of these issues there's probably like twice this many comments. These are the most common issues. So let's look at this list. Both screens on in phone mode. So this is an issue that you might be able to duplicate yourself. Take your Duo and put it about into this position, and then unlock the screen with your fingerprint. And the likelihood that you have both screens on, okay, that one just shut off, but they were both on. The likelihood that you have both screens on is not 0%. For my Surface Duo, I can do it pretty much anytime I want. I find that turning it on in book mode and then folding one screen back works totally fine. No issues there at all. It is only when the phone is unlocked already in book mode and either the bumper is on, which creates a gap, or I've artificially created a gap, that this problem occurs. And this is something that has been echoed in my comments. Walter Gomez, major annoyances for me. Both screens on when folded backwards, double black screens, and won't let me log in and forced to restart. That is something I've experienced both of. David Garcia, so far just about the same issues with the screens. The context was both screens being on at the same time. Things like that. Sandra Payne, I've noticed the same issue with mine. With the bumper on, it turns the back screen on often when unlocking in phone mode. Common. Jorge Medina. Jorge, George, I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'm pretty sure that should be Jorge. I knew a guy, though, where I used to work, whose name was spelled just like that, and everybody called him George. I think he was just being nice, though. I'm going to go with Jorge. I have had my bumper on since I purchased my Duo. I thought the screen not going off in phone mode, or sometimes the screen's not coming on, were just software issues I've been waiting to get updated. I don't think that's the case. I think if you take your bumper off, I think the problem would stop. Chuck White, I had the phone mode issues too, where the back does not turn off. Samuel Ventimiglia, I hope that's even remotely close. I had an issue the other day where the phone screens will not turn off when closed. That issue is actually a little bit different. I had that issue too after casting my phone screen to my Chromecast or casting my phone screen to the Your Phone app. There's a weird problem where it doesn't disconnect correctly. It gets hung up and both screens will stay on when closed. If you have that issue, think back. Have I casted my screen to a Chromecast or to a Your Phone type thing? If I have, reboot your phone and you should be okay. Maybe not though. He said he had to do a factory reset. Whatever, that fixed his issue for him. Maybe try rebooting next time. Maybe he did try rebooting. I don't want to speak for him, but it's an issue I've seen and a reboot did fix it. David Sanchez, in photo mode, the back screen stays on, randomly turns on or switches to the other screen. These are issues I was having as well, both screens on. And then sometimes it's like it didn't know with the bumper on which way it was oriented, trying to take a picture, and it just kept switching screens, just random things like that. Took the bumper off, problem went away. Scath, not sure, SCATH Games, same as me when going in phone mode, sometimes both screens will be on. Arakasu, I'm trying my best here, guys. The same thing with two screens active in phone mode. And again, I could go on and on and on about that particular issue. I got many comments about it. And for me, bumper on, problems there, bumper off, problem's gone. I do want full disclosure here. My Surface Duo does have a crack that is under my skin. It reaches up to about there. And so I wasn't aware of this problem until the crack was there. I cracked my phone. That's why I put the bumper back on. Then I started having these issues. I've had many people ask me, well, do you think it's because of the crack? A couple of things there. One, it's not having the problem without the bumper on. So with cracks there, bumpers not, no problems. So not sure. I'm not saying that's not contributing, but a lot of other people are having this issue and not reporting any crack on their phone. I've also had people ask me, do you think I've damaged something inside? Well, the way that my phone was cracked, it fell this way and something just clipped the glass there. It was pretty slow velocity. There is a connector down here which connects the two halves of the phone. Someone's asked me, do you think maybe that connector was damaged? Well, that connector is a type of connector that to disconnect has to flip up and then be pulled out. That did not happen. The glass, there's no room for that to have happened. Maybe the connector was damaged. Well, in order to do that, sometimes you have to punch through that glass. This is a very minor little hairline crack. I don't think that's happened either. Also, if that connector was damaged, this thing has two screens, two batteries. So if that connector was damaged, one battery would not be operating, one screen would not be operating, in theory, from what I've seen from teardowns of the Duo. I believe that connector does carry data from that screen as well. So I don't think the connector is at fault there. I don't think that the crack is at fault there. I don't know what's going on. It's possible that maybe my hinge has stiffened up a bit and it just doesn't want to, there's not as much force, rigidity to keep it closed. And with the bumper there, it's slowly kind of pushing it open a bit more than it was before, so the gap is bigger. I'm not sure. All I know is that when I took the bumper off, the problem went away. Take that with a grain of salt. Let's keep moving. Camera issues. David Garcia. The other issue I have is the camera, after 2 or 3 pics, it kicks me out. It says camera stopped working. Camera crashes are common. I'm using the Gcam Go port because the default camera is just bad. The shutter lag is really long and it just doesn't work that well. Chuck White echoes that. The camera shutter delay matched with the awful sensor detecting what side the camera is makes the camera virtually useless. I think they should turn off all motion sensors when using the camera and just have a flip button. I am so with you. It is not even funny. Just give me a flip button. Or make it set so that anytime it's in phone mode, it's always on this screen unless you pull down notification and hit switch screens. I mean, anything like that would be better than what's happening there, and then put a switch screen button just like a switch camera button on every other phone. David Sanchez, the camera swapping screens on them. Scath Games. When operating the camera, in some apps the camera will be upside down. This is also something that I've seen. Jeff Norton, when taking pictures or using the device, if the using end goes downwards, say taking a picture up, the accelerometer forces the other screen to engage. Again, give us a button. Cheyenne Brinson, my biggest beef is the amount of time between push the button and picture taken. Shutter lag. Try the Gcam Go port, less shutter lag there. Matt Brewer, the app lags when you touch the screen to focus or change the lighting with the slider. Also huge lag when clicking to take the picture. Shutter lag. Then there's the crashing, and the app closes when trying to take a picture sometimes. I missed a photo of my son's reaction to his birthday present because the app crashed during his birthday dinner. That is horrible. That sucks. I know that feeling, and it's freaking terrible. It is like, that is the whole point of having a smartphone camera, is you can quickly snap a memory, and you missed it because you're sitting here fumbling with this thing, it's switching screens, and you missed the picture. Terrible. Victor Saikali. Sure, that sounds pretty good. Using the camera is still a challenge. When I have the Duo in fold mode to use the camera as any other smartphone, it is very sensitive with the movements, and it changes screen from rear to the front so many times. But then when you want it to change screens, it barely responds. Yes. Camera issues are horrible. Rotating or switching screens randomly. Victor again. Phone mode, rotating screens randomly. It's irritating. And again, for me, with the bumper on, it's worse. Sander Verkid screen. Rotation not recognizing, and sometimes I need to shake Duo screen on the wrong side when Duo is active. Skaith games again. Screen flipping is so bad, I just don't use phone mode. When stationary and the screen is facing clearly up, it will swap screens randomly. This was happening to me with the bumper on. I have no idea what the bumper would have to do with switching screens, but it did do something for me because taking it off made that get quite a bit better. I still have some problems, but it is better. Gerald Martinez, when I'm watching a Facebook story video, will rotate the screen to portrait and landscape back to back. I cannot go to the home screen, even though I'll bring down the top bar down, have to reboot sometimes when that happens. Just weird rotational problems with this thing is pretty common still. Bluetooth videos. Echo Base Tech. Bluetooth randomly connects when I don't want it to. Switching to the speaker doesn't work and seems to stay connected to Bluetooth even after I've turned off Bluetooth. This only happens while taking a call, so it's difficult to reproduce on purpose. Cheyenne Brenson, the other major issue for me is using Android Auto. It's a crapshoot of whether a call is answered through the car's Bluetooth or back to the device itself. I've had a lot of people ask me what Bluetooth issues I've had with range, disconnecting from earbuds, headphones, things like that. You got your earbuds in, put your phone in the pocket, the Bluetooth disconnects or stutters, so forth and so on. I have not had those issues. Surface headphones have been fine. Liberty Air Soundcore 2s, whatever they're called, they've been fine as well, but other people have reported Bluetooth issues. Launcher issues. Jeff Norton, overall jankiness of the launcher sometimes. The launcher gets confused and displays the Today screen partly over the side of the screen all the time. No launcher customization also. That's a problem. We need to be able to... No custom icons. Come on. Cheyenne Brenton, notification counter on all my apps says janky. 1 minute it says 14. You open the app, there's no notifications. Then it says 14 notifications 30 seconds later. Nate Okun, the issues I have with the launcher glitching, much like you showed in your video. So things like when you rotate this way and you've got a big blank space in the middle of your launcher, you rotate back, the Today screen is overlaying on top of your stuff. The launcher is just glitchy as all get out. And it has somehow gotten worse in the last couple of weeks. Beta or not beta, I don't know why. Victor again, for some reason my search bar stopped working. I type whatever I want to look for and it just does nothing. Yes, this is a thing that has come and gone for me. You pull down and you type in a universal search, you're going to Google something, you hit the search button and nothing happens. It's supposed to launch the browser and perform your search. Nothing happens. You have to literally open Edge, hit your address bar and search again, and it is so freaking frustrating and stupid that this thing is this broken at this point. The launcher might be the most broken thing about this device. Victor, again, using my Duo in vertical mode, so rotated this way. If I have an app open on one screen, I won't be able to slide my main screen to see my apps on the other screen, just half of them. This happens to me a lot too. So basically you're sitting like this and you go to pull out your app drawer and it just doesn't show you all your apps. It's literally glitched out and is not understanding where it is on your screen. Some miscellaneous and hardware problems. Obviously the USB-C port has cracked for a lot of people. That's a problem. That's a problem of it being this thin and maybe not durable enough. Jason Wiley, there is some serious lag using sticky notes in ink mode. It handles the first few lines of script well, but anything more than that, and the performance takes a huge hit. So it starts lagging while you're writing. That's a problem. Paul McDonald, Sander Verkade, I'm not sure how to pronounce it either, and many others. I've noticed the hinge feels gritty when opening quickly. So if you're going slowly, nice and smooth. If you move quickly, a little bit of grittiness in your hinge has been reported by a lot of people. Sandra Payne, weird touch behavior, mostly noticeable in Chrome, where I all of a sudden can't close tabs. It just doesn't register the touch. If I rotate the device and I can close them, and it randomly registering touch to open or close a tab while scrolling a page, and also the touch registering on the launcher instead of Chrome, so it will open another app or will open app drawer when I swipe up. I've had that happen before too, where maybe I've just rotated or something, or I've just switched screens and I try and touch the app and I touch an icon that's behind the app and I launch a different app. That's rare, but I have had that happen. Victor again, lock screen has unlock issues at least 2 to 3 times a day. My Surface Duo does not unlock after using fingerprint reader. Seen this before. You get stuck in peak mode. Mine has actually stopped doing that, but there for a while it was happening about 2 or 3 times a day. Typing, SwiftKey is bad, and other third-party keyboards don't work that well. Autocorrect, prediction, these things on SwiftKey just aren't as good as Gboard, but Gboard doesn't work that well. When using Gboard, Ed Shulkar says, Shukar? Sure. When using Gboard, I have an issue with the keyboard covering the text in the bottom in the text messaging app. Seen that as well. Cheyenne Brenson, I love my Duo, but the issues I've had are, first, the keyboard. I use SwiftKey, but it often doesn't like my fingers. I can hit a key several times and it not recognize. I'm a decent typist, but not on Duo. Even my husband has noticed I can't write a complete sentence and it captures the words correctly, and there was a obvious typo in there that I left in when I brought it over because it highlights the problem. It should have fixed Comokeyt to complete. This video is going to be kind of long, and it could have been 3 times longer if I wanted to be, if I just wanted to read people's reports, and they are the same glitches over and over and over and over and over. I'm hopeful that the January update will fix some of these problems, but I am unsure if it will. If you want to know more details about my Surface Duo experiences, go back and find Podcast Revived episode number 26, or look for a video that says I think the title was like, I cracked my Duo and the bumper's making everything worse. I'll link both in the description down below. I go into great detail about what's going on there. But at the end of the day, these problems are all too common. They're all too consistent, and they need to be fixed. The Surface Duo as a concept in hardware is great. I would have a very hard time now going back to a single narrow screened phone. I don't want to go back. I like the Surface Duo. I like what it does for my workflow. I like the experience. I like the ability to do 2 things at once. My brain functions better that way. But the software is borderline unacceptable. And I'm all for giving a company some leeway when they do something that's original. And look, I know the ZTE Axon exists, but if you don't see a difference between this and the ZTE Axon, I don't really know what to tell you. We're evidently living in 2 different realities. What they're trying to do here, the way that they're trying to bake this functionality into the OS is different than what we've seen before. So look, I'll give them some benefit of the doubt here. This is not easy what they're doing, but you also have to acknowledge that they're not doing a good job. It is too buggy. Microsoft is a massive corporation. They could have done better. They should have done better. They are responsible for the fact that they sent this thing out to reviewers even more broken than this, and it got widely panned in the reviews by people that just couldn't see past the bugs and glitches. And fair enough, they have done the Surface Duo a disservice by launching it in the state that it is still in 3 months on. I get that we're a beta tester. I get that. I understand. This is a brand new kind of device and we're testing it. But ultimately, you need the beta testers to evangelize for you, or they're not going to sell the next version very well either. So if you want us to evangelize, fix this crap. Fix this crap. I think that the one that really just strikes me the hardest is from Matt Brewer here, the one about missing a photo of his son's reaction to his birthday present because it gets in the way. The Surface Duo's pitch is that it shouldn't get in your way. It should actually make you work better. It should help you get more things done. But instead, sometimes it actually inhibits you being able to do anything. And that's unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. So guys, please share this video online, tweet it at people, spam people with it if you have to. People that matter. Don't be rude. Don't say mean things. Don't have personal attacks. But this is a database that only represents a small fraction of what's out there, what's being said. And people like us that love the Surface Duo have these problems. And we love the Duo enough that we overlooked them and we moved past them. But we want them fixed. And honestly, it sucks when I see people on the internet just say things like, oh, look how broken the Duo is. What a piece of crap. And it's like, yeah, it's got problems. It does. It does. It doesn't feel good for people to dump on a device that I use every day and that I really enjoy. But I can't really even disagree with them all that strongly. And that doesn't feel good. And it doesn't feel good for any of you guys that might have spent $1,300, $1,400 on this thing. And you have to listen to that all the time, and you know that it's kind of right. They're kind of right. You like it anyways. You see the benefits outweighing the flaws. I get that. I do too. But Microsoft, new year, new you. Get your shit together. And let's get this stuff fixed so that the hardcore crowd that does exist here, you guys watching, so that we can evangelize for your product even stronger. And so that this form factor, this dual screen form factor that I do believe is game changing, that is revolutionary, can grow. Because ultimately, maybe in 3 years, I'm using a dual screen device that's made by someone else, not Microsoft, because this device changed the game. Well, I got to tell you something. This device is not going to change anything. It's too broken. It is too broken. The public, the mass broad audience won't get past how broken it is at times. Won't get past Matt Brewer's comment. That will stop them. So that's where we are. Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, both on YouTube and on the Facebook Surface Duo Central group. Thank you so much for watching, for hitting subscribe, for hitting join, all those lovely things. I do appreciate it greatly. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Add more things to the comments. Comment more problems that you're having. So guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content just like this from the guy who makes way too many videos about the Surface Duo. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.